All right, welcome back. Today we're on the move in Thailand. We're going to get straight over to Bangkok now and to our very own Haslinda Armin. Haslinda.
Rish, good morning. Now, Thailand is poised to grow as much as 5% this year after expanding 8% in 2010. But the biggest risk to the economy is rising oil prices. And that's according to the Finance Minister, Korn Chatikavanij. And he joins us this morning here in Bangkok. Korn, good to have you with us. If oil persists above $100 a barrel, how will the Thai economy be affected?
It's already affecting the Thai economy now, given that we are a large importer of crude. And we are a heavy user of crude as well. So I think that it's already proving to be a drag on growth rates. More importantly for the government, it's causing inflation generally and making it more difficult for us to look after the cost of living issue for households.
But what's the trigger point? At what oil price would you have to say, wait a minute, I have to review the growth target for the year, for instance?
We're reviewing those targets all the time, given changing situation. So there's no specific trigger point. It's problematic where it is, and the higher it goes, the more problematic it becomes.
Of course, Thailand is not alone in this. The world is looking at oil prices really closely. Is there an oil price which could lead to a recession in the global economy?
Probably. Not sure exactly where that is. But I think it's proving a challenge for many economies where it is. But I think most countries are at the moment concerned with just reliability of supply, given the political instability in the Middle East. And most countries are comfortable that if oil prices are retained at current levels and that there is guarantee of continuity of supply, that won't significantly disrupt their economies.
Thailand, of course, has been subsidizing diesel, keeping it about 30 baht per litre. You can't go on subsidizing. You said before the subsidies will have to go.
Correct.
When will prices see increase?
Well, primarily, first of all, I think we have to understand that the reason why we specified diesel for subsidy is because of its impact on transportation costs and the follow-through impact that rising transportation costs would have on cost of goods in general. So we need to sort of help the poor cope with inflation by making sure we do everything we can to keep prices of goods down. Now, as you say correctly, we can't subsidize diesel forever. We still have positive credit in our oil fund, which is what we're using to finance diesel. So effectively, users of benzene have been helping us subsidize diesel. We haven't been using government funds to do so. So I guess we could continue as long as there's money in the oil fund, and
but the oil fund,
and that will last in cash terms until around July. But I think before that we need to review the situation, given especially if the price of world crude remains at current levels, and hopefully be in a position to phase in any increases of diesel price related to the market price.
Is there an amount that the government is willing to spend once the oil fund runs dry?
We're not intending to. It is possible. I think in the past the oil fund has been in debt by as much as 90 billion baht to help subsidize diesel. We don't think that's necessarily a good idea for the economy as a whole, and we're not looking to do that.
The baht, one of the best performing currencies in the last 12 months, up 7% against the USD. You comfortable with where it is right now?
As long as nobody's complaining, I'm comfortable. But the answer is yes. I mean, it had a sharp rise last year against the dollar, but it was pretty much in line with many other Asian currencies, and I think fairly reflects the differences in fundamentals between the US economy and the Asian economies. It's settled down now for the past 4 or 5 months at current levels. I think long term, the chances are that the baht will still continue to do well, but I think everybody's quite comfortable where it is at the moment.
That earthquake in Japan, has that had an impact on the economy at all? Because, of course, Thailand is a manufacturing base, and lots of Japanese companies do their business here.
Actually, our economic relationships with Japan is very broad. It's not just in manufacturing. It's also in tourism. It's also in investments and also in trade. So it has had an impact. The Thai people haven't concentrated on the economic effects so much as on the human effects of the Japanese people. But in analyzing the impact on the economy, we're anticipating that it will have a negative impact on our GDP by around 0.1, 0.2% short term. Longer term, who knows? I think investments into Japan, exports of food products into Japan, both will most likely increase, and I think we'll want to contribute as much as we can towards the rebuilding of Japan.
Korn, I want to jump in before we let you go. The elections are coming.
Yeah.
Are you happy enough to stay on as finance minister should Prime Minister Abhisit stays in power?
That would be the ideal result.
Your top priority?
We've got tax reforms that we need to do. We also need to find funding for the number of infrastructural projects that Thailand needs to do. The next 4 years is critical, and I think the opportunities are there for us to grab. I think we're all ready to do so.
Thai Finance Minister Korn Chatikavanij, thank you so much for your time this morning. Rish, handing it back to you.
Thanks so much for that.